Hey team, it is day 88. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Wanting to get into the daily goals real quick, but after talking to a few people and some people that I coach, just something came to my mind that I want to talk about today, and it's what is your why? I'm going to walk through a few things that I believe you need to have just as a foundation in order to ensure that your weight management journey or just healthy living journey is one that is realistic for you and not filled with ups and downs or what we call yo-yoing, frustration, extreme just disappointment. So let's go through these real quick. I hit everything pretty well. 213.4. I'm just trying to get under that 213 by now. A couple days ago. We'll see if we can get it. Definitely know the 206 not happening, but I'm fine with that. We'll go over it in the 90 days when we hit the 90 day and we do the summary. But let's get into the what is your why. The reason why I ask what is your why is a lot of time, just for me, for instance, right? My why started out with a number on a scale. It's just a goal, linear number. And when I think more about it, my goal was not only just to hit a number, but when I think further in it, it was what's my deeper motivation behind this. So the first thing when you have your why, and I brought out red, but I'm going to use it because that's what came out is just what's your deeper motivation. And the reason I asked that is because, I said 206. It ended up being kind of an arbitrary number based on a figure of it was 10 pounds heavier than when I graduated high school, which was a little crazy. It was just kind of an arbitrary number I picked out. And then some quick calculation of what I thought, single digit body fat, all that kind of stuff. It was just a crazy number right out there. And it didn't really hold true to why I was truly doing the calories, water, sleep, and testing the three things that I believe we need to hit in order to have a successful weight management journey. So you really gotta have what's your true deeper motivation, what is truly driving it. And I can tell you that mine was to help people like my family, who I haven't been able to help a whole lot because I've been kind of a know-it-all, a jerk, not having a whole lot of time to work with them. And as I've been working with more clients and just working with people who aren't your family, you just really see what some of the pitfalls are as you listen to the stories and you really dig deep into that person's personal life of just what their, I don't want to say demons, but like what their struggles are, what their pain points are. And you focus on those, you find out what their true deeper motivation. And mine really is to simplify a process. And this isn't the end all be all process. It was just to simplify a process that would allow people like my family, who we always are talking about weight loss because it never quite gets there. We have diabetes, obesity, heart attack, stroke, anything you want to have from a genetic perspective. Heart attack, not really a whole lot, but stroke and all that stuff. The bad stuff that comes along with being overweight. And so for me, it's how do I find an easier way and give tips and tricks and things and just educate around overall weight management and just becoming healthy. Like even dropping 5% of your body weight when you're at a BMI of over 30 has tons of health benefits. So my deeper motivation for this wasn't necessarily to hit a number, although I felt like I just had to throw something out there for a goal because that's just who I am, goal orientated. But it could have been waist size. It could have been a number of different things. But my deeper motivation is obviously to find an easier way, find a way to more simply explain to people like, hey, you got to focus a little bit on your calories, definitely your water, and definitely your sleep. You hit those three things, you should be pretty good over time. The next thing you have to do, and I'm going to just use black because we're, I guess, doing a checkerboard, is you have to believe it's possible. And so this one comes into my mind for the fad diets. And hey, you could lose 30 pounds in 30 days. You can't. Or the last time you did keto or the ultra low carb, you lost 14 pounds. And then it was, oh, it was good. And maybe a dress size or a pant size or, things got around the waist. And then it's like, oh, it's too hard to maintain. Willpower worked for 2 weeks and you throw it back on. Did you truly believe that when you started out that you would be able to get there? Or did you have in the back of your mind, hey, I'm going to lose weight quick, get to the dress rehearsal, get to the wedding, get to the event that I need to do, and then you know what, after it, I'm throwing it out the window anyway. So do you truly believe in what you're doing and what your future self can look like? Do you truly believe that, Richard, do you believe that you're going to be able to maintain a healthier weight, that weight in what I would say in the 210 to 215 range? You believe with this program you're going to actually be able to live a normal life? And normal, I'm not normal. What I mean by that is just like not constantly thinking about, hey, I can't indulge a little bit, and have some tips and tricks in order to ensure that I'm living a life that's not dictated by a food scale, by a weight scale, but more dictated about how I feel about myself. So do you believe? That's another one. Do you believe? The third one that I really want to ask you is your goals. Are they realistic? And are they what I like to call small chunks? Because that means many wins. So basically, are your goals realistic mine was a weight goal 90 days later, and follow these calories, water, sleep, you'll be good. Maybe I should have had steps in there about certain weight things. Maybe it was about cardio, like get 5 days of cardio. Things that I know along the way down to the weight that I wanted to get to. If that's my ultimate goal, you can have a weight goal, but steps in there that would allow me to stay on track to give me my best shot to get there instead of just throwing one number at the end. Making sure I'm breaking up that big goal into smaller ones, okay? So that's another one. And the fourth one I would say that you gotta have, and we've talked about this a lot, you gotta have accountability. Partner, you gotta write it down. Tell people. You got to make sure that as you are doing this, that you have that accountability, okay? And another thing you have to do for the last one is you got to have some sort of motivation. And I believe motivation's to me, it's kind of a weird word, because you shouldn't have to motivate yourself to do what you want to do, but motivation to me is kind of like the energy. It's kind of like the why. So what is your motivation? If it's to look good for somebody or for somebody else, you got to stop that. Motivation needs to be about you. So make sure this is about you and this isn't about anybody else. So I hope that these 5 things are good to look at. When you evaluate what is your why, you got to make sure that you're doing this for you and the 5 things that I talked about in back. But hopefully this helps. Again, I appreciate everybody's support. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Got a couple videos left, but obviously we're going to keep this going. Thanks again for everything. And as always, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thanks again.